Who's that?
It's for YouTube. It's just my camera. You're not live.
Oh.
Oh.
Excuse me, I'm talking to you. Hey.
Hey boos, welcome to Sips and Tips, the show where we make a little something to sip on before we get into the tips and advice of it all. I'm not even gonna say, I'm not even gonna do a whole spiel and a whole excuse. It's been a minute. I haven't done an episode of Sips and Tips since episode 10, I believe, which was in July, August. I'm gonna be honest with you, posting on YouTube, it's very discouraging. I'm not even gonna sit here and skate around it. It's just really hard to film and then edit for hours, and you gotta make a thumbnail. You got there's a lot that goes into YouTube content. So it's when you do all of that and then you post and you end up getting a teaspoon of views, it just kind of makes you over the whole process. So honestly, I think that's why I go back and forth so much with posting on YouTube, is because I'll get these random spurts of creativity and I'll want to be consistent and I'll be posting every Sunday, and then it's I look at the views and I just get over it, honestly. But I was I wanted to come on here. I've been feeling creative. I'm working on some other things that have kind of sparked my creativity lately. So I was you know what? Let's do an episode. Let's catch up a little bit. I kind of want to talk about what's been going on in my life. I got a ring light. So if the lighting looks a teensy bit better, we got a ring light. Still working on other equipment, mics and things like that. But we're working on it, per usual. Before we get into all that, let's get into today's sip, which is actually gonna be non-alcoholic. I feel a lot of my sips usually involve some kind of alcohol, but we're gonna do something non-alcoholic. I love coffee. I am obsessed with coffee. Now, RIP to my Nespresso machine. Unfortunately, a couple days ago, my Nespresso machine officially conked out. She's a goner, so I don't have my Nespresso machine, and I'm gonna have to get a new one. But I do keep some instant coffee on deck, so we're gonna use that. The drink that we're making today is my iced brown butter chocolate chip cookie latte, inspired by Coffee Mate's creamer of the same name. This creamer, go get 3 right now. I don't know if it's seasonal or if it's just a limited edition or something like that, but every year, around holiday season, these come back in the stores and I run to go get them, because this is literally the best coffee creamer I've ever had. No, this is not sponsored. This is not an ad. I'm not gassing it. This is literally my favorite coffee creamer I've ever had. So that is what we're making today. Let's get into it. I'm going to add some boiling water from my little kettle here into my, if I can open it, into my little cup. Let me get some scissors and stop playing. Please hold. I also need to get some agave too. So we're just going to put our instant coffee into our cup, take some boiling water. I just eyeball this, but since I'm doing a latte and I want it to be more espresso, I literally just do a tiny bit. I'm also gonna add just a little bit of agave for some extra sweetness. There is sweetness from the coffee creamer itself, but I like sweet coffee, so I usually like to add a little bit. So I'm just gonna do 2 teaspoons of agave. You can use whatever sweetener you like. If you prefer regular sugar, cane sugar, honey, it's whatever you prefer. Then I'm just gonna take my little frother and mix it just to make sure that the instant coffee is completely dissolved and the agave is dissolved too. Okay, so then once we've done that, we can go ahead and put our drink together. So I have my glass, and you already know, a glass straw, have some ice, pour our coffee mixture. Then you're going to pour your milk of choice. I like almond or oat. I don't have oat right now, so we're just gonna do almond. And again, no measurements. I just do it to your preference. Like I said, I like sweet and creamy coffee, so I do it about that. Then we're gonna take the star of the show, our brown butter chocolate chip cookie coffee creamer. I'm gonna do it in the same glass that I put the instant coffee in, just because why dirty another dish, you know what I mean? About that much, because we're really just putting this on top. It's just a little topper. And then I'm gonna take my frother again. Then after 15 seconds or so, go ahead and pour it on top, and that's it. Sometimes I'll put a little cinnamon or a little something to garnish on top. But most days, like when I'm just having this for my breakfast, I just have it like this and then just stir everything up. This is like my favorite latte at the moment. Like it's very perfect for fall, perfect for holiday season. No, this coffee, like please go get this coffee creamer. It's so good. I'm gonna clean up and then we're gonna come right back here and get into today's topics. We're gonna do a little bit of like a life update and then we'll get into some advice. So I'll be right back. Okay, so some updates. I feel like there's been so much that's gone on since the last time that I posted, which technically the last video I posted on here was in August when I was in LA and I had just filmed for Jubilee. So let's just start from there and then work our way to today. So I filmed for a series on Jubilee's YouTube channel called Timelines. I'll link it below if you want to watch. It was such a good experience. The women that were part of the episode were amazing. The staff, the director, the crew, like everybody was just really, really sweet. And it was a very therapeutic situation for me. Like it was something that I just felt like I needed to do for myself. And hopefully my story, my opinion, the things that I shared resonated with some other women out there. I feel like it was received pretty well. Like I was reading the comments a little bit, not too much, but I was reading the comments a little bit and it seemed to have like kind of some mixed opinions, but all in all, I had a good experience. I'm glad I did it. And shout out to Jubilee and the team for choosing me to shoot for that series. So I did that. I was in LA for a weekend to do that. I celebrated my 31st birthday, August 31st. Shout out to all my Virgos. My birthday was really chill. Like I really didn't have anything planned. It was a very, very chill birthday. Let's talk about also like me living in Vegas. So if you haven't seen previous videos, I moved from LA to Vegas back in July. And I actually like really kind of like it here now. Like who would have thought? Like when I tell you, never in my life did I ever think I would be living in Las Vegas, Nevada. Like, it just never seemed like a move that I would make. But actually, I'm enjoying it. And the funny thing is, a lot of people, I think, assume because it's Vegas and it's like the strip is right here. Obviously, there's so much to do, so much entertainment, so much partying. I feel like people just assume that I'm just outside all the time. And honestly, I have been in the house, like really on some hermit, cocoon, like that type, which has been nice. I feel like Vegas has just been forcing me to sit down, relax, rest. You can still be productive, but you can also just like chill out and not be anxious all the time. Like it's really been a complete reset for my nervous system because living in LA and constantly worrying about how I'm gonna pay my rent, how I'm gonna pay my bills, working a 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, and then not really having the means to like travel the way that I wanted to, or to even like enjoy LA and like be out and about like I wanted to. I was honestly depressed. Like I feel like I was functionally depressed for most of the time that I was in LA. Like now that I look back on it, I was like, yeah, I wasn't doing that great mentally. Like I definitely had fun and I definitely tried to make the most of my situation. And it's like from the outside looking in, it probably looked like I had everything together, but I really didn't. And I was just trying to survive. And I feel like living in LA, that's kind of everyone's story. Is like we're all just trying to survive. And it's like this big rat race. You're always trying to grind and hustle to figure out how to make more money because it's so damn expensive to live out there. And so being here in Vegas, I feel like my body finally is like, we can breathe. I've also just been better about like my health, like my physical health, taking my supplements, watching my diet. I'm in the gym like 4 times a week now. Like I just feel a lot better. I feel healthier. I feel like I'm actually just being more mindful about taking care of myself. And you know, I'm getting older. I'm 31. Like, not saying that that's old, because that's definitely very young. I am getting older. I recognize that. Body's going through changes. Mind is going through changes. Mindsets are going through changes. So I'm definitely just more aware of like doing things to take care of myself in all aspects. What else has been going on? I had to stop filming and look at my calendar because I was like, what did I do in September? Like, I really wanted to check and make sure that I'm like giving you a full update. So September, I went to Chicago and went to my girl Sydney's wedding. Congratulations to Sydney and Zach. That wedding was so much fun. Like, we were just it was a time. It was an absolute time. I'll put in some clips or something. I was only there for like 2 days, so it was a really quick trip. I didn't get to like really be out in the city or anything. I was really just there for the wedding, but I had so much fun. Then after that, me and my best friend Jazz went to New York to go see Kate Renata, which honestly was like one of the highlights of my year so far. Like that concert was, I have loved Kate Renata for some years now, like ever since I first heard Kate Toto, but watching him live and just like being in the audience and seeing the audience's reaction, like I don't think I've been to a concert in recent years where people weren't on their phones that much. Like everybody was really just like in their own world, dancing, vibing, like it was just so much fun. And I felt, this sounds kind of corny, but I just like felt so free. Like I don't know what it was, but Kate Renata, if you ever get a chance to go to a Kate Renata show, definitely go. It was such an amazing experience. So me and Jazz were in New York specifically for that, but also it was her first time in New York. So we were kind of just like exploring the city, went to a bunch of great restaurants, but we were like really being some real New Yorkers. Like we took the train and walked everywhere. Didn't call Uber not once. So I was very proud of us for that. So that was New York. That was really fun. Oh, I know what happened in September too. Sorry, I'm backtracking a little bit, but I forgot. I got a new job. I am working, I don't want to say like where I'm working, but essentially I am working concerts. I'll just leave it at that. And it's been really fun. It's been really, really fun. The only thing is it's very like sporadic. Like my schedule is really all over the place and it really just depends on like how many concerts are happening. So, you know, some months are slower than others. So that's the only kind of con with this job. But other than that, like I love my boss, I love my coworkers, the shows are fun to work, it's easy work, it's social. I like the fact that I get to like, you know, kind of mingle with people. It's also so flexible. Like I literally get to pick when I work, which I've never had a job like that. So besides freelancing when I was like doing background work and like that type of stuff, but it's literally like I can pick the shows that I want to work. So it's so nice. It's been a really, really nice change from like what I was doing before. With that being said, I guess going into like my job situation and what's next with that, I feel like I'm still figuring it out, to be honest. Like I really do like this job, but like I said, the schedule is pretty sporadic. I definitely am like looking for something else to be doing. I'm also still trying to pivot fully into entertainment. I have some things that I'm working on. Y'all will be probably one of the first ones to know when it comes out. Be sure to follow me on Instagram. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not that active on there, but there'll be updates on there when the time comes. But also be sure to follow me on TikTok. I have way more fun over there. I'm way more active over there. I know that allegedly it's supposed to be getting banned soon, but I mean, while we have it, let's just enjoy it, you know what I mean? Definitely follow me on TikTok. I feel like I'm the most consistent and the most active on there. And I love the community that I have over there. Like, it's been so fun and so cute. I'm actually, if they really ban it, I'm gonna be sad because I have mutuals on there that I'm like, no, we're actually locked in though. So like, I'm gonna have to follow you to whatever other platform you're gonna be on. So anyway, work is just like, still figuring it out. You know, I'm really trying to just figure out how I'm going to make this whole like on-camera personality, host, career path, life, work. I feel like with what I want to do specifically, there is no roadmap, there is no like specific person to look to for instructions. So it's like I'm kind of just winging it and trying to figure it out. So it's been hard. I'm definitely someone who I like to know what I'm doing. I like to be on a specific path. And so to not have that for the past couple of years has been so frustrating. But I'm also just learning to be okay with the process. Like, it's the journey, you know what I mean? Like Tisha Campbell said, it's the journey, like for real, it really is. You have to just be patient with where you're at and enjoy the things that are happening right now, because it won't always be like this. Like, I know I'm not always gonna be here at my dad's. I'm not always gonna be in Vegas. That's another thing. I am definitely moving. I don't think Vegas is like a permanent home for me. Like I said, I like it out here, but I think it was more of like a pit stop, a resting place. But I think there's somewhere else that I will thrive more in. Comment below if you think you know where I'm gonna move to next. I want to see what vibe are you getting from me as far as where I'm gonna go next. I'm very curious. Things aren't always gonna be like this, so I'm just really trying to like cherish these moments and enjoy the stillness of my life right now, because I know that that's gonna change and that this is very temporary. So that's that. Oh, last little update before we get into the advice and while I wrap up this like life update of what's been going on. Last weekend was probably the most active weekend I've had in Vegas. Like I said, I have not been outside like that. I've really just been chilling. But last weekend I was outside on Saturday and Sunday. So my cousin actually moved out here recently. So I was like, okay, cool. I have like somebody here. And I've been making friends out here, y'all. Like, I'll talk about that maybe a little bit later. Or maybe in another episode. I kind of do want to talk about like making friends in a new city. So I'll talk about that in another video. Subscribe so that we can talk about that. So my cousin moved out here, and on last Saturday, we ended up going to the Usher and Flippers Roller Boogie Palace grand opening. And I think my dad is coming in. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna see if he'll want to get on camera. Hold on. Do you want to say hi to the camera?
No, not like
What do you mean no? I'm recording a YouTube video. Oh, my Sephora. Thank you. Look at him really not trying to come on camera. Dad, get on camera.
Who's that?
It's for YouTube. It's just my camera. You're not live.
Oh.
Oh. So we went to Usher's day party. That was really fun. Then, you guys, Sunday, the next day, I saw B5 in concert. They were out here. They've been on tour, which I didn't even really know until I saw on TikTok. I saw that they were coming to Vegas. I was like, I have to get a ticket. When I tell you, I've been wanting to see B5 since I was like 11, 12 years old. I remember they were doing like Six Flags tours, and I think they came to Magic Mountain one year, but it was when I already left. So I used to spend summers in LA at my dad's, and then I would fly back home to SAC for school. The way that it was scheduled, I missed it, and then I just never was able to see them in concert again. And you know, they've like been on hiatuses and stuff off and on throughout the years. So when I saw they were gonna be in town, I was like, I'm going. Got my ticket, and I was like, I'm just gonna go solo. While I was in line, literally made friends with the other girls in line that came by themselves. So there was like 4 of us total. And we just had a blast. Ended up going to the after party, ended up meeting the boys. They're such sweeties. Like, we had such a good time. 12-year-old me is still shook. 12-year-old me is still shook. So that's basically what's been going on. Now that I'm done yapping about that, today's advice is gonna be probably pretty short, because I'm gonna be honest, I really just wanted to come on here and like give you guys a little update and just talk, show face, show proof of life. But today's advice is really about not being a people pleaser anymore and being okay with not being a people pleaser. The reason why this is so big for me is because I feel like really most of my life I've been a people pleaser. I'm someone who, I don't like conflict. I don't like hurting people's feelings. I don't like being mean to people. I don't like getting my feelings hurt. I just really don't like conflict and issues. And so obviously, because of that, I feel like I spend a lot of my life kind of tiptoeing around issues, walking on eggshells, doing things so that people would like me or would look at me in a certain way. And I feel like, especially after turning 30 and just going through all the things I've gone through over the last few years, it's like the light switch went off and I was just like, this is actually not a way to live. I don't like the saying life is short, because I don't think life is short, and I pray that life is very long for all of us. But life is too precious and it goes by too fast for us to be doing things for the approval or validation of others, or to skate around our feelings and things that matter to us because we want to appease other people. I just feel like this is something that's really close to me because I'm in my anti-people pleasing, selfish era where it's just like, I gotta focus on me and what I wanna do and how I wanna live my life, and that's really it. If someone is upset about it, it's not my problem. It's really not my problem. And I want you to feel that way too, because I feel like, especially as women, we struggle with people pleasing the most, because I feel like there's so many people that rely on us, whether we are oldest daughters, whether we are mothers, wives. You know, I feel like there's all of these roles where we feel we have to do things in a certain way. We have to please others. We're just always like constantly looking out for other people naturally. Being in my 30s, I'm like, listen, not saying that I'm not being considerate of people's feelings, and like, obviously, of course, I still want people to be able to rely on me. And, you know, it's not that. You still want to be considerate of others, but it's also, you can put yourself first and do that at the same time. For me, in this season that I'm in, that's been a big one, because for the first time, I'm really thinking about like, okay, but what does Jayla actually want in life? What do I like? What are my hobbies? What are my ultimate dreams? Not the things that sound good to other people. What do I really want to do? What do I really like? Where do I want to be? All of these things. And it's like, it sounds like such a quarter life, midlife crisis type thing, and it's really not. I feel like these are things that we should ask ourselves on a more regular basis, because I think sometimes we just get so caught up in like just life, just the race of life, that we don't really slow down and like ask ourselves these questions. My advice is really to have some more introspection, reflect more, slow down when and how you can, whether it's meditating, whether it's journaling, whether it's taking a bath and just taking a few minutes to yourself, whether it's going to the gym, whether it's going to the park, the beach. If you can take a trip, do that. If you can go to a concert, do that. When I tell you, solo concerts have become like my new thing. Like, I went to my very first solo concert earlier this year when I saw Terrace Martin and Alex Isley and James Fauntleroy. And then, like I said, I went to the B5 concert solo. Oh, also, I went to the Maxwell and Jasmine Sullivan concert by myself. How could I forget that? That was amazing too. Be comfortable doing things alone. Be comfortable with your own company. Be comfortable getting to know yourself. And I feel like the more you do that, the less you'll even care about people pleasing. Eventually, you'll just be like, oh, okay, I'm good. Like, I'm doing what I want to do. I'm living for me. I'm also considering my loved ones' feelings. Never completely giving up the consideration part, but we're honing in on what makes us happy. That's really it. That's all I really have to say. I know it's kind of like rambling, yapping. You know, when I do these videos, I don't have like a script or anything. I really just want to come on here and just chat and just, you know, talk off the top of the dome. That is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have advice, or if you have a situation that you would like me to speak on in a future episode, please let me know. You can DM me, you can email me. Everything would be anonymous, by the way. Please like this video if you like this video. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.